Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Trisha with Happy Home Designs, and I am glad to be coming to you again this morning with another Christmas project. Trying to get everything lined up so we have all of our Christmas decor ready when it's time. That way, the first week of December, and you've already got your tree up, and you are trying to do all of your holiday decorating. You don't have to rush around and try to make something really quick to fill in a spot that you want to decorate on a counter or on your table or wherever. You'll already have all of your goodies ready to put out. Okay, Mark, something is wrong because the actual live video I'm off screen, but I'm on screen here. Hold on just a second. I don't know if I'm having technical difficulties or not. Everybody who's joining me as you jump on, hey Diane, good morning. Tell me if I am kind of off screen or not. So, hey, as you jump on, go ahead and tell me that you're here so I know who I was watching. And would you guys tell me if I'm off screen on the left-hand side or not? That would help me tremendously. It looks like I'm centered on the phone, but then when I'm looking at myself on this phone, I'm off screen. Let's see. Oh, Hope says I'm perfect. Thank you, Hope. I love to be perfect. That's weird that I'm checking myself off on this phone and I'm looking like I'm over too far. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Diane. Hey, Hope. Who else is on here? I'm trying to read the names as they pop up. Hey, Anna. Hey, Aunt Carol. Anyway, like I said, this is Trisha with Happy Home Designs. We're going to go ahead and get started on today's Maker Monday project. And hey, Cheryl, thank you for saying I'm centered. So like I was saying, when you get ready after Thanksgiving or whenever it is you start decorating for your house, I know you want to have all of your projects already put together so you're ready to put everything up really quick and you're not having to run to the store to buy something to fill in a hole somewhere that you need an extra tongue-tied piece of decor. So what I'm doing today is I'm just going through my stash of things and I'm just pulling out pieces and seeing what I can put together to have on hand. So I already have this, and I know not everybody just has wood laying around, but this is something you can purchase if you want to. But this is a door tag. Mark and I actually do make door tags to hang on your door, and this is one that we had that the wood was a little bit rough, and I didn't feel like it gave me a good smooth finish to paint on. Hey, Aunt Barbara. Hey, Aunt Carol. Thank you for joining us. So anyway, this is a door tag I already had. I'd already painted it black and I got ready to use it, I think for Halloween, and then I decided it's just too rough. But I didn't want to get rid of it because it's a piece of wood you can use for something later. As a matter of fact, I'd done the back side. I know it looks like natural wood, but it's actually painted a tan, and the back side was not any better than the front side. But I kept it. So today I'm going to be using the black side of this. It can be a door tag that can be hung on the door, behind a glass door if you have a storm door, or it can be a tag that you sit beside the fireplace or in front of some other decor or whatever inside your house, or hang on the wall inside your house. So I'm using the door tag. I've got one sheet of scrapbook paper. It's black and white stripe. It is distressed. I don't know if you can tell, but it is distressed. I will be using red beads. This is actually a piece of garland I picked up at Hobby Lobby on Saturday, just like berry garland for your tree, but it's just wood beads. It was $8, 50% off, so it was $4. I will be using one of these cute little tags. These are mini ornament tags. They come in a set of 4 that I picked up at Hobby Lobby too. They were $4.99, 50% off, so $2.50 for 4 of them. I'm going to use one. Hey Leah, hey Rita, hey Megan. I'm going to be using the one that says Joy. That's going to be attached to my bow somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and pull that one off. And then I'm also going to use several different ribbons. Sorry, it's all tied together on the back. There we go. So I'm going to use this one that says Joy. But that's a great deal. I mean, $2.50 and you have, $2.50 for all 4, and you have them for different projects. I am going to use ribbon. I've got black or red and black trucks. I have got black and white striped ribbon. This is some of that ribbon from Sam's. I'm doing red and black buffalo check and a burlap color with red polka dots. Hey Shannon. Yeah, I was glad to come up with something to do with the tags and all of that. Also on Saturday at Hobby Lobby, I found this. You guys, this is metal ribbon. So it's actually metal that's bendable. It's very thin. I bought 2 different sizes and I'm going to be using both of these today. So metal ribbon, and that's just going to be some trim work on my tag. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First of all, to cover, in order to paint on my surface to put my words on, which I'll be using Chalk Couture stencils this morning, in order to do that, because this wood is so rough, I'm going to cover it in decoupage. That way the paper will give me a nice smooth finish and I can use this piece of wood. Hey Christina, good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am using premium decoupage. It's Aleene's. Bought this at Walmart a while back. It is almost gone. I'm just going to pour a bunch out. You guys, if you're having a hard time seeing the project on the table, swipe the words away to the right. And then if you want to see what everybody is saying again another time, you can bring them back. But if you just want to be able to watch and not read everybody's words, that's what you can do. Hey Jennifer, good morning. Glad to see you joining us. Okay, now this, I have not measured out my paper. I know approximately where it goes, but it's not going to be all the way to the end of my door tag. I'm going to leave some black space down there. That is where I'm going to use some of that metal trim. But if I take my glue too far down, it's fine. It'll dry clear, so it won't matter. It'll show. If you guys are having a hard time seeing, just holler and let me know, and I will try to readjust things. Okay, so I just give it a good light coat of glue. I'll show you what I have. That's it. Got plenty of decoupage glue on there. Let me go ahead and put this up. I didn't know if I had enough or not. Get that out of the way. And then I'm just going to take my paper and lay it on. I think I want to use this wide trim, the metal trim at the bottom, and it's about 1.5 inches. Of course, when I did that, I got some little flakes of stuff in my glue. So I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches at the bottom with no paper on it. I'm putting it on the edge on one side, and the other side is going to hang over just a little bit. And then just mash it down. This is really, really thick scrapbook paper. So sometimes it requires more glue, but the good thing about using heavy scrapbook paper is that it doesn't show those air bubbles nearly as bad, but it is having a hard time laying down. I should have waited before I put the lid back on. Okay, get a little bit more glue. Add it, especially on the edges. I am getting ready for the holidays. I'm so ready. I'm ready to decorate. I'm ready to have my house. I'm ready to put up a tree. Who else is with me? Who is holiday ready? I know I'm skipping right past Thanksgiving, you guys. I just can't help it. I'm in the mood this year for sure. Okay, I'm just rubbing that down really good, and where it's still peeling up, just raising it up and putting more glue. It's really having a hard time sticking. Kind of wonder if that's the rough texture of the wood underneath too, because remember, this was a piece of wood I already had that was not usable for anything else as far as I was concerned. I feel an air bubble or two, but they will settle down. When you're doing decoupage, if you have air bubbles, and usually you can hear it, I can hear the air moving around under there. I can feel it a little bit too. But when you have air bubbles, don't stress over it. Even if they look terrible, you guys, air bubbles will dissipate. As your glue dries, it just kind of smooths out. If you leave it alone, sometimes if I'm doing a piece one day and I am so frustrated with how it looks, sometimes it's better you just take it, lay it aside, don't look at it again until tomorrow. Go back tomorrow, and then you can decide if you can salvage your product or your project or not. I guarantee that most of the time you're going to be able to salvage your project. So you'll think you've ruined something and you've got too many air bubbles, and it's really not. So this is hanging off on the side that much, but that's okay. I'm going to let it dry for a minute, and then I'm going to take a sanding block and just rough the edges up, and as I rough the edge up, it will cut that paper right off. It'll be the exact right length. Keep mashing a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So sorry for the noise, but I'm basically just going to take a rough edge of my sanding block and go right down the edge, and you can see it is already starting to tear the paper right there. That way you've got a good even edge and no overhang or anything like that. I will go back and do the other side, even though I don't need to cut any extra paper off, just to give it a distressed look on that edge too. Turn it around while I'm using the rougher side. Bear with me with the noise. And my paper's not stuck down good still. Start peeling it off. There you go. There's that extra strip, and then I just go back down and smooth that edge out and make sure that that paper is all taken care of on the edge, so I have a good smooth edge. And then I'll do the exact same thing to this side. And like I said, there's no paper hanging off on this side, but I still want it to have matched the other side as far as distressing. Hey Mandy, good morning. Hey Kim. Hey, it's okay if you skip house cleaning to watch a video. I promise. The house can wait. Okay, and this one doesn't take nearly as much because there's nothing to cut off. I'm just actually distressing it a little bit. There we go. So I've got my paper on there. I'm going to actually use this on the inside of the house. I'm not going to put a top coat on my paper because I'm not going to use this outside. If I were to sell it to somebody, I would just make sure that they know, don't put it outside, because it is just paper, it is just glue, and you don't want to take a chance on it ruining. So that corner had pulled up, it just wasn't stuck down, and when I did my sanding, it raised it up a little bit. I just added a little bit more glue. Get my dust off. Okay, now I will put my decoupage up. So Kim's supposed to be cleaning, but she's taking a break. It's just a break to watch a video. What's everybody else doing today? Hey Dawn, good morning. I'm gonna clean up my mess. I love my new work mat. It's actually a cutting mat, but today I'm using it as just my work surface. Okay, get my mess together. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm doing this kind of out of order, but there's a reason. I am going to go ahead and put my hook at the top of this. My hook is gonna be beads. I've drilled a hole. You can see that tiny little hole. I drilled a hole through there. Cheryl, you're making chili? Hey, Tammy, you're doing laundry? Okay, well, those are some things I need to do. Well, not cooking, but laundry for sure. It will be great, Dawn. You'll like it. Pretty sure. Okay, so remember I bought this garland. It is just wood bead garland. I got it from Hobby Lobby on Saturday. It was $8, 50% off, so it was $4 for the strand. Best I could calculate, there's at least 80 beads on here. Actually, I'm thinking there's more. I counted one, it was 80. I think there's more on this one because they're smaller than the one that I counted. But I am actually going to take it apart. You know, I showed you last week, anybody who watched one of the lives last week, I showed you how to color your beads. When you have the wood beads like this, just the natural color, how you can paint them easily by just doing a soak in some water and diluted paint. I can do that, but I want to show you a second option for using beads in your decor, and you can buy them already painted. So these are painted, they actually look a lot like cranberries to me. They have a good sheen to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this rope, and yes, I know that's going to lose all my beads, but I've got my hot glue gun here, so I'll stop the last one from coming off. But I'm going to use some of these, I'm trying to decide which one I want to hold. Some of these on as a hook. I'm going to make a loop hook to hang this up. So I'm going to pull some of these off. Let me see how many. About that many. Okay, so now I've still got, this is still a garland. I can tie another loop. I can still use it on a Christmas tree if I want to, or whatever, but I'm going to add a little dab of hot glue right here on the top of that bead so it won't come off the rope. And then I can just lay it to the side and use these again for whichever project I'm going to use them for next. So I pulled off 4, 8, 12, about 14 or 15 beads. And I still have my rope garland to use another time. Lay that to the side. And what I'm going to do to put my hook is I'm going to use that thin gauge wire. This was what I was using last week whenever I lost my live connection with you guys. Find my wire cutters here. I've got, Tammy's kids are going to get in trouble. They're supposed to be homeschooling today, but they're trying to watch Trisha instead. Cut them some slack, Tammy. Let them watch a video every once in a while. Cheryl, you just got a mat. Did you get the self-healing mat? I have been reading about them, and that's what this is. Of course, I have not cut on it, but it's supposed to allow you to use a rotary cutter, and it won't actually make deep indentions in it. Excuse me, guys. I've got a tickle in my throat. Get rid of it. So I've seen people use the self-healing mat, and I thought, that's fancy, that's probably what I need. Okay, let me get this fed through. So I just cut a little strip of that wire. That's going to be my hook at the top of my door tag. And I'm going to feed all of these beads on, just holding them in place. It is art class. Oh, yes, that's a very good thing. Hey, Anna. Good morning. How are Ryder and Maddox this morning? Shannon, I like that idea that Tammy's kids can count this as an art credit for school. And maybe they can learn something and use that in a class someday. You know, the great thing about watching somebody craft, I have found I may not make the exact project they're making, but I will take bits and pieces of knowledge or things that they've done, things that I've learned that they've done, and then run with that in a different direction even for myself. Okay, so here's what I have. That's going to be my loop. That's going to be my hanger. And I'm going to get my beads about where I have about the same amount of extra wire on each end. And I'm going to feed this wire, crisscross them, feed this wire through the back of that little hole. I want both wires to come through. So bear with me and I'll show you guys up close. If I can get both through there at one time. They're being difficult. Okay, I've got them both through. So I want my hook to look like that. So what I've done is I've got 2 pieces of the wire sticking out. It'd help if I put my hand where you guys can see, sticking out in the front. And I'm just going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to twist Lay it down. I'm going to twist these and just make a little curly Q out of them. Well, I'm trying to. It's not actually working. It's working. It's just not working the way I intended it to work. Can you guys still see I'm off screen? And then I'm going to roll the end down so it won't poke. Grab the other one. The big idea is, this is going to be covered up. This is where my bow is going to go. But I just don't want it to poke me in the meantime. And it's not going to come off. Okay, so there's my hook. I actually should have pulled that a little bit tighter. I've got too much play with my beads. Let me see how I can fix that. When you don't like something, rethink it. I didn't get it tight enough. Just going to twist some more. Just like that. There we go. Now, and to help it stand straight up, I'm going to dab a little bit of hot glue on my back, on the back where that wire meets the wood. Okay, let that dry. Hi, Ryder. Hey, Mom. Glad you could join this morning. Ryder, Nani loves you. Grandbabies always like to watch too. Okay, so there is my hook at the top of my door tag. I didn't let the glue dry. Okay, I'm going to talk while I let the glue dry, I guess, because I need that to stay up. So after I flip it back over, the words I'm going to put on the front of this is going to be home. It's actually I'm going to use part of this stencil that says there's no place like, so it would be those words, and then this word with those little curly cues. And then I am going to use this word home underneath like that. But instead of that O, this is going to be my O. So I've got a little berry wreath. This wreath was actually from Hobby Lobby too. It is a napkin ring. So you guys, if you need little wreaths to hang on something, check out the napkin rings. I mean, it's the perfect size. It's about a 2.5 inch opening, 2.5 inch diameter in the back. It was $2.99 or $3.99, 50% off. So $2 for the little wreath. Let's see if they glued. Yeah, I think I got it dry enough. Okay, there's my hook. And I'm going to put up here, it's going to be a big bow. Okay, I am going to I'm going to glue on my decorative trim. So I'm using this thin metal decorative trim, and I'm using the wide metal decorative trim. And the thin is going to go across the top. Not much of it will show because I'm going to have my big bow up there. And you guys know when I make a bow, they usually end up taking up a lot of space. So it's going to go right there. Trying to measure, see how much I need to cut. It's kind of hard to cut with scissors, but it does work. This is silver, and I'm actually using a lot of gold. All of my ribbons are trimmed in gold. I think I may use some of these. I'm not positive. But I'm kind of thinking the silver needs to be add a little bit of gold to it too. Hey Tracy, good morning. So I'll finish this or fix this with a little bit of gold paint in a little while. So I'm just going to get my hot glue gun on here on the back side. And it is going to stick out over the ends. It's okay, because I made it a little bit longer than what it needed. Oh, it's hot. Okay. Boy, that heats up that metal. And then the bottom is going to be the really wide trim. So that's why I left all that space at the bottom underneath that paper, because I'm going to use the wide trim. Let me cut off this. Now, it's going to be a little more difficult to get this on because it has so many holes in it. So I'm going to have to get the glue just in the right spots on this piece. So it is going to go across the bottom, and the black shows through. Give me a little bit more dimension down there. So I think I'm gonna have to do the glue sporadically in the solid pieces because there are so many holes. I don't want the glue to seep too bad, but I want it to stick. You guys know this is an accident waiting to happen with me holding this metal and hot glue. I have always been accident prone. Isn't that right, Mom? Okay, so I've got a little bit of glue on there. Let me get it laid down really fast before it starts drying. That piece is still hot. I just touched my arm to it. Perfect. That works. So tell me, do you guys think if you use gold and silver on a project that it will clash? Okay, so here's what I've got. I've got the silver up here. I've got my silver metal down here. It hangs off on the ends and I'm just going to trim it up. It is kind of difficult to snap through, but it does work, and I will go back. I probably should have hot glued it down actually, now that I think about it, to keep any sharp edges from sticking off. I'll have to work on that. That's something I didn't think about. I probably should have left overage and wrapped it around the back. Trying to think this through, you guys. And just bend it around the corners, and that way I don't have sharp edges. That's what I will do. I've only clipped off a little piece so far. And it bends fairly easy. Hey Cheryl, this is where I'm going to find out about the self-healing mat, because I might be poking that metal down into it. Actually, I may not even need hot glue. Okay, just bear with me, you guys. I may have to revisit that. So that's what I have. I've got it bent around the edges right now. I think this piece wouldn't bend good, and it's because it's got a hot piece of hot glue sticking out back there. Okay, so this is what I have so far. So now I am going to go ahead. Hey Marlena, good morning. So Mom, are you telling me that silver and gold do not go together, right? Because that's normally what I would say. That's what I had told Mark, that it would not go together. Okay, I'm going to use my Chalk Couture stencil now. I'm going to put my words on here. And remember, it is going to say there's no place like, in those words at the top, this line and this line, and then home at the bottom. I'm going to measure it out. Can you guys still see my work area here? Get this in the center. You can use Chalk Couture stencils on pretty much any surface. And I'm using it on paper today. Decoupage paper. Lay it down. Let me make sure my other words are going to fit. This is a brand new transfer, so I do need to fuzz it. Fuzzing, you just stick it to cloth. Oh, a metal file, Cheryl, that's good. I didn't think about that. Hey, Tammy's got a good point. If black and brown can go together, then surely silver and gold can go together, right? So, Mom, you think it'll be okay? All right, that kind of sounds like that's the consensus. I'm just measuring you guys to see if both of these, and that's not fuzzed enough. It's really trying to stick too hard to that paper. I'm just trying to make sure that these will actually both fit in my little area here. I'm pretty sure they will. Get it centered. Okay, I'll peel up the back one. This is a very well loved transfer. The home portion of this, I have used it, I cannot even tell you how many times. I still don't have it centered. It's kind of hard to do if I'm laying it sideways. It is really sticking to that paper. could actually pull up some of my paper. I'm going to add the slick back to it so only part of it sticks off. Sorry you guys, this is taking so long. What silver and gold Christmas song, Tammy? I'm not sure I know a silver and gold Christmas song. So I'm basically just trying to stick this back to the backing because this is so super sticky, so that all of it will not stick to my surface and mess it up. Okay, now I think I'm going to do this quickly because it did definitely peel up some of my paper. This one I'm going to do in my copper shimmer. These words are small. You guys, you won't see them unless you're right up on them anyway. Let me see if I can redo this. I have never had trouble with a stencil like I'm having with this one. There we go. I mean, most of the time they're good and sticky, but not like this. Now. All right, now I've got it flipped down where I can use the portion I want to use. Okay, so I don't know how much this is going to show up on the black and white, but I think it'll be good. But here I'm putting gold right up next to that silver. So if you guys tell me once I do it, if you don't like the gold next to the silver, I can change that silver. I could actually paint it a little bit gold. Kind of rough it up. Okay. Let me see if I can get this lifted off. I mean, it is really being hard. This part of the transfer says there's no place like. No, yes, there's no place like. And then the other transfer, Shannon, is going to say the home. I mean, that was really, really tough. So let me flip it around and show you. And actually, you don't see that well. It's very small words, but I can see it holding it in my hand. You guys see how my paper tore just a little bit right here? That's not a big deal. I'm probably going to go back and distress the edges with my wax anyway. So I will do that. Okay, and then the home is going to be like this, except I'm not using the O. I'm not using that wreath for an O. I am going to actually use my napkin ring. And I'm going to do this in red. Get it centered. You guys talk to me. I'm running out of things to say. I'm stressing because that was so difficult to work with. I mean, it really gave me a run for my money. Let me get my home stuck down. Okay, this is going to be bright red, so it should show up really good on the black and white. And remember, I'm just leaving that wreath where the O is, and that is actually going to be a three-dimensional wreath on there. Got an air bubble in my stencil. Everything that I've done live for you guys the last few weeks has been things that I have never done before, or using different parts of things I've never done before. So sometimes I'm learning right along at the same time that I'm teaching and sharing, I'm actually doing the learning myself. Lift it around so I can get up next to that edge. Take off my extra. Oh yeah, you can see that very well. Okay, here's what we have so far. There's no place like, and you have the H and the M and the E. And then remember, this is going to be my O. So you guys, I think after I do this and get this all done, that I do have a second little project today I'm going to share. You're going to get a 2-for-1, but it's a really simple project. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm trying to fluff my wreath up a little bit. It's just going to go right here. Actually, you know what? You almost don't even see where that paper tore off. I know you guys are probably having a hard time seeing because I'm doing it sideways to you, but it'll go right there. Let me go ahead and get my hot glue for that. Tammy, I don't have any craft shows coming up. Because we are moving into a new house soon, we have decided that we really just don't have the time or the space, or sometimes the energy to do any other craft show. So I have backed out of the ones that I thought I was going to do. Just kind of regrouping this year, and then we'll see what next year brings. Yeah, Shannon, I thought you'd like that for the O. Okay, hang on just a second. I've got this sticking down, and I'm going to glue this leaf right here just a little bit. Tracy, are the kids watching? Hey, Robbie. Glad to see you're watching. Are Macy and Owen watching today, Tracy, if you're still there? So because this was a napkin ring, it had actually layers of the leaves, and I'm trying to unlayer it a little bit. I'm trying to make sure that they stay in the shape of an O because it is my letter. And here's what we have. So there's no place like home. So I can see that there's no place like. I know you guys can't. I can add red. I'll leave it that color, even though I know it's hard to see on the screen. Mainly because I had such a hard time with that transfer too. It really, I don't think I've ever had a transfer stick as tight as that one was sticking. Just getting off some of the glue pieces. Okay, so what was the verdict, you guys, on the silver? If I put gold, if I use gold up here at the top, can I use those can I leave this silver? That's my question. My ribbons are all trimmed in gold. It sparkles a little bit. Can I leave those pieces silver, or would they be better painted gold? And I can give you an idea. I did a test piece before I went live, and that's what the little piece of metal turned out to look like with just a rough coat of gold over it. So you guys give me your opinions on that. In the meantime, I am going to work on my bow for the top of my door tag. Lay that to the side. Since I use black and white striped paper, I'm going to use big black and white striped ribbon. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way. And I'm going to do a messy bow again. You think it looks good, Shannon? I think that's the consensus, that I can leave silver and gold together. Tammy, like some silver? Okay, I'm going to cut a few strips of ribbons to make my messy bow. That one's a little bit long. I'm using black and white stripe. I'm going to use the burlap with the red polka dots. It's not really burlap, but it has a burlap color to it. Just to give it some earthy tone. Will all be black and white and red. Cut that end. And I'm going to use red and black buffalo check. It's trimmed in gold as well. That's about right. 2 of each is usually what I cut. And then I have, these came from Dollar Tree. All 3 of these others were Members Mark from Sam's. But I have some Dollar Tree. This is not a wired ribbon. It's white with black polka dots. I think it'll add some texture too. It's good to not have all of your ribbons exactly the same. You want them different thicknesses, about the same length, but different thicknesses when you're making a messy bow. And then I've got my little trucks. These came from Dollar Tree as well. I think it's cute. So it's got the black and the red and the white. So we have a color scheme going here. Okay. Also, I'm going to add in another natural tone, and it is going to be my favorite. It's the burlap with the frayed edge. That's just, I just love to use it. It adds texture. It makes your bow kind of stand out a little bit more, kind of stand up a little bit more. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. Who knows? Hey, I have not said it yet. I'm surprised that I haven't. Be sure to sprinkle. That means S-H-A-R-E on your wall. I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you for everybody who participated last week in sprinkling and the drawing on Friday night. That was a lot of fun. I think I will do something similar. I don't know about this week, but I'll be doing something similar to that again. Okay, and I'm just taking and putting my like pieces together. I fold them in half. I'm trying to dog ear them. Dovetail, dog ear, whatever you want to call it. And you just cut from the folded side out to your wire, or out to your edge. All these are wired ribbons. I like wired ribbons because you know it's going to stand up. You know it's going to hold its shape, and you can bend it however you want to. I'm not going to mess with doing these little bitty strips. They're so tiny. But all of the wider ribbon. And the burlap I won't do either. Yeah, the truck ribbon would be cute, cute ribbon to have on a Christmas package. And you guys, it's 9 feet for $1 at the Dollar Tree. You can't beat that. Now, not all Dollar Trees are going to have it, so you may have a hard time finding it, which ends up being the case a lot of time. Okay, so now I've got my ribbons cut. I've got them all dovetailed or dog-eared or whatever you want to call it, and then you just make them in an X. I'm going to start with my stripe on the back, and then layer in my polka dots, and then layer in my buffalo check. My buffalo check is a little too long. Actually, it's a lot too long. I really messed up cutting those. Let me trim them up a little bit. They're about a ½ inch too long. I want them to all be similar in length, so there we go. That's better. Like that. And then I'll do my white with the polka dots. And they're too long too. I'll have to trim them up. And then I'll do my trucks. Okay, and then the last thing I do is take a piece of jute. This is that piece of jute I cut off at the end of my garland. I'm going to use it. No point in wasting it. You lay it across the top, right in the middle of your X. Pick it up, flip it over, and then you're just going to cinch it and tie a knot. And this is for a messy bow. I can make big fluffy bows, but this one I thought was a more casual type project. So we're going to cinch. Some of my ribbons are flipping. And just tie it as tight as you can. Thank you, Shannon. Make sure that you do tell me when you sprinkle. Go ahead and tell me that you did. And that way that I know, because you never know when there's a giveaway coming. I've got something in my mind for this week, just not sure when we're going to do it. Okay, so here's what I have so far. And those white ribbons, they kind of flop around because they are not wired, but I'm going to fix all that anyway. Actually, I should have done them upside down. I'm going to flip them under my wire upside down, at least the top one, because I'm going to tie a knot in it just so you don't see, you see that? Just so you don't see that, the burlap string underneath. Flip it. And if you're using non-wired ribbon like this Dollar Tree ribbon, it's fine. Once you get your bow together, you can go back and You can actually tack it down with a little bit of glue to your ribbon behind so that it's the right length or the right shape, or it's holding itself in place or whatever. Some of them were too long. I'm trimming those off. I think that's probably it. Okay, so that's what I have so far. That's my messy bow. And it is going to go on my door tag at the top like this. Trying to decide where I want to put it. I want to get some of this in there, but I'm not exactly sure where. So I'm going to get my bow on, and then I will glue some of that up and around. And I'm just taking and just kind of fluffing this up and making it a good shape, which you can also do that after you're finished too. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Lene, good morning. Thank you, Hope. Thank you for sprinkling. Okay, so I'm just dabbing a whole bunch of hot glue on there. Flip it over, and remember, I want to cover up that wire at the top where I put on my hook, because it was really pointed and I don't want to scratch myself. So get that mashed down. I'll work on it a little bit, trying to get this where you guys can see. I'm having a hard time making sure you can see because I look off-centered on my, oh, I forgot to put my burlap in. I knew it was missing something. Oh well, I'm not going to go back and add it now. Okay, I am going to use bits and pieces of this in this project. I got this from Hobby Lobby too. It was $2.99. Christmas picks, 50% off, $1.50. And I won't use all of it. So I'm just going to use a little bit. But I do want some of the red, and I think I need some of the gold up in there. I'm going to use my wire cutters, and I'm basically just going to cut off pieces of it and glue them down. I think I'm going to cut off pieces of it. There we go. Actually, it looks like I can pull them off easier than I can cut them. It is a pick, so they're all glued to the one long stem at the bottom. I've not used these before, so I'm having a hard time getting them apart. It's all a learning process, everybody. Actually, they pull off easy. Some of them pull off easy and some of them pull off more difficult. Oh, you gotta grab the right part to pull. I want one of these red things. Maybe another one. Thank you, Anna. Pull off another one of those. So when you buy something like this for $1.50 and you dissect it and you use just bits and pieces here and there, you know, you think about how little you actually have in your project. Of course, they have gold glitter going everywhere now. So when I've got my pieces like this, this is all in one. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on it. I'm going to tuck it under my bow and let it stick out a little bit and just place it wherever I think it needs to go. It's really more of a filler than anything. So hot glue all over my finger, and it's really, really hot. Remember, I need finger protectors. And these two, you can move them however you want them to be. I'm going to use a little piece of greenery. Load it up really good. And I know not everybody works with hot glue on a regular basis. If you don't, that's fine. But let me just explain to you that if you use hot glue and you get it everywhere, it's not a big deal. It will come off. You can pick it off. Okay, I've got this little bitty sprig of, I think they're supposed to be berries, but they're like ornament balls. I'll stick it up at the top. It is easier to stick it where it's in between the layers of the ribbon because it glues better. And hold it down. I'm going to do one of these little red things. These are glittery, sparkly leaves of some sort. put him right in the middle. I'm actually not liking the placement of my first little set of ball things, so I think, or the little bitty balls, the first set of little ones, I think I'm gonna move them. But I can do that because it's not good and dry yet, so I just peel it right out. But once it dries, it's not gonna just pop out easily. You can work it out, but it won't be super easy. This piece has the tag on it. Get this. My son, he'll get over it. The glitter is actually on my work mat today. It's not anywhere else. But yes, Mama, I will clean up the glitter. Hey, Natalie. Good morning. I'm finishing up a Christmas door tag craft. Just putting the accent pieces on it. How are things in your neck of the woods? Excuse me. Okay, I've got a couple more pieces to add, and then I'll show you guys what I've got. It's really cute. Just kept thinking this top up here needed some extra love. Up where that hook is. Remember, if you're wanting to see more clearly, swipe everybody's words out of the way. Swipe to the right. Trim off some of these again. I'm almost ready to show you what we've got. So everybody that's got kids, school-age children, are our kids in school? Are they doing virtual learning? How's all that going? I haven't talked to anybody recently other than my own grandchild, which I only have one in school, one old enough to be in school. So how is the COVID situation going with public school systems, if you do public schools? I haven't been hearing a whole lot about it recently, so I'm thinking maybe it's okay. Maybe things are getting better, or we're just getting more used to it, or whatever. Okay, here's what we have, you guys. How cute is that? Do you like it? Does it need something else? Now remember, I know that you can't see those words at the top of home very clearly, but I can in person. I'm going to go back and trim these edges off of the metal. But that is a super cute door tag. And I don't know, I would hang this. It could be hung on the front door, but it would need to be behind a glass door. Remember where I tore the edge of that paper right there? I'm trying to decide if I need to mess with it at all, but I don't think I do. I think the wreath covers it up good enough that you really don't see it. But there's my project. It says, welcome to our home. That's my door tag for today. Okay, I'm gonna lay this aside. Now you get a second little goodie today. Let me get all my glitter pushed aside. Make sure I've got a white. Chalk Couture sells cutouts to go with some of our transfers. And for Christmas, I'd never ordered our cutouts before. Go put that on your front door. Sorry, Shannon. Anyway, Chalk Couture sells cutouts, and they sell reindeer this year. I had never bought any cutouts before of any sort. We've done reindeer and Christmas trees and Easter eggs and pumpkins. I just never bought any because the pumpkins we can make our own. But the reindeer are a whole lot more intricate, but they're so cute. And I thought, okay, I am going to get these reindeer. I bought a few sets of these. And so this is what they look like. They're just wood cutouts. This is the doe. And there's your buck or whatever you call. I'm not a deer person, but whatever you call them. But the mommy and the daddy, I guess, that's what we're going to call them. And then I've got transfers. I just want to show you how easy it is to add. Oh, I forgot something else. I didn't add my tag to my project. It was supposed to say joy. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let me see if I can get this joy added in here, because I really wanted that added to the top of my, that was supposed to be coming out of my bow. I'm going to add it real quick, and then I'll go back to the deer. Let me snip off some of this string. But I just thought it was super cute because it's black. Sorry, you guys. I'd already left out my burlap, and I don't want to leave out my little joy tag, especially since that's one of my hashtags. Just going to go off to the side, and I want it to hang down over the metal just a little bit. Let me get this glued on real fast. I hate it if I have a vision for something and then I get to talking halfway through my project. I have left my vision. I want it to hang kind of loose so it'll move. It had the black and white bow, so I thought that was cute. There we go. I added my word joy. I just glued my string right up underneath my bow. Okay. Now, let me go back to my reindeer. Sorry about that. If Drew can't handle the glitter mess, you can come craft here. I could craft at your house, Tammy. Okay, so here are my reindeer. Here's my buck. And there's my doe. I just want to show you guys how cute these are when they're all finished. So you literally just take your transfer off. I have used these transfers, but I did them on a flat surface before. This one has a piece of hair stuck to it. So you literally just get it lined up. And now, like I said, I've never done this, so this is my first time using Chalk Couture transfers. So you literally get them all lined up. I've been watching people do their crafts with the Chalk Couture deer, the cutouts, and some people make red reindeer. Some people make black reindeer, or whatever your decor is. You know, your deer doesn't have to be the color of the actual deer. It just needs to fit into your decor. But I am going to use the shimmer copper, and that is kind of like a deer color. I think it's so cute. So I literally get my transfer laid down and then put my ink on. And I wanted to show you how easy it is, even for a first timer, because like I said, I've never done these cutouts before. I've never ordered any of the Chalk Couture cutouts. But when I saw the deer, I thought, well, I can't cut that. Mark will probably be to the point that he can cut a deer by next year. He's just learning with the scroll saw, or been working with the scroll saw some this year. But for right now, it's a little more intricate than we're ready to get involved in. Okay, got him all covered. Look, I just painted my reindeer. Isn't that cute? Now, when this dries, I'm going to go back and I am going to put a little bow probably around her neck. That is the goal. That is so cute. So these will be great sitting in front of whatever you want to put them with. You have a centerpiece, it'd be perfect for a tiered tray. Make your Christmas tray just all the more special. Get my stuff out of the way. You guys, when I work, I make a mess. Okay. Now he faces the other direction. Hope and pray I can get them all lined up. I guess if I start with his nose, I kind of know where his mouth and his ears are. I have to quit talking because I can't talk and think at the same time. He may be a little more tricky to get lined up. But if anybody wants a set of these reindeer, I do have 4 sets. Well, 3 more sets that I'd already ordered. I can order more. I think they're in stock. I'll be glad to order them for you and paint them for you. But you just have to get with me on a price. I can't remember what I paid for these right off. He's actually kind of hard to get lined up. There we go. I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay, let me see if I got it. So you just smooth it down. It's a lot of, there's a lot of screen area on these, so you got to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. And I'll do the same thing to him. So tell me, do you like the deer cutout? Is that something that would be cute to add to your decor? And honestly, the deer are not just Christmas. I mean, they're Christmas if you put a red bow around their necks and a bell or something like that. But I mean, they're for sure all winter. They're a winter item for sure. You could have a man that does hunting that you want to set a deer for. I don't know. But I think they're super cute. And I think they would be cute to do in different colors. And actually, if you want to set these on your bar or your island or in a tiered tray, then you actually can do them double-sided. The other side, because these deer face one direction or the other side is just a stripe. Let me get this peeled up. I'll show you in just a second. He's so cute. Look at the white on his chest. That looks so good. So let me show you. The back side right now is just plain white, but you could add some color to his back side by putting stripes on him. So this same transfer set comes with, these are the back sides to the deer. So at least you can put some color on the back side. It's just like a distressed stripe. But you can actually make them two-sided, so if somebody were seeing this side, it would have some color on it. But I think they're so cute. Okay, you guys, that is today's projects. Let me get my white again, get a fresh white. And I will show you again the two pieces, and then I will let you guys go. I am trying to do a live every day this week, so invite your friends, tell people to stop in and watch. You can invite them to watch the replay later. If you're watching the replay, send me a message, and when you sprinkle on the replay, be sure to type that you sprinkled again. So if we are doing a drawing this week, which I think there's something in the works, then you'll be a part of that. So here's what I have for the door tag. That's the completed project there. It's got the little joy. See, it's free floating. It's got the wood beads, the big fluffy crazy bow, and it says "Welcome to our home." Definitely holiday-ish. And then I have my 2 deer. I'll take that. I have my set of deer. Like that. How cute. These are done in shimmer copper. So I will let you guys go for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sprinkling. And I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thanks. Bye.